Hi, hey, hello everyone. You guys can call me Kore Kawore. It is nice to meet you. So today I'm gonna be doing some Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony, which is the localization they decided to go with, which should tell you my opinions for the rest of the video. I'm gonna be doing some redesigns though, and a slight rewrite because I have opinions and I think that everyone deserves to hear them, quite honestly, because I am just so correct and based always, at all hours. And I am blessing everyone with my opinions, truly. No one has ever had the masterful thoughts that I have had. This is a joke, in case you can't tell. I am not being serious here. I'm a mediocre writer at best, but you know, we got a little silly with it, and I think that I'm gonna write a better version than the V3 writers did, so hold on to your butts for that. So, getting into our first design here, we have Kaede Akamatsu, the advertised protagonist of Danganronpa V3, everyone's new semester of killing, which I prefer as a name, but she is the ultimate pianist, which is an interesting ultimate for our protagonist. It is the first time that we've had a protagonist with a genuine talent, and I thought that that was a good choice, honestly. I thought that it was nice to see, you know, a protagonist that had actually worked to get to where they were, that had worked to get to Hope's Peak. I thought that it was an interesting change of pace, and yeah, so for her redesign, and for all the redesigns really, I decided to copy the splash art poses from everyone's trailer sprites, or the rendered sprites that are in the V3 trailer, and you'll see me complain about this by writing it on every single canvas, I think. The poses that they chose are so incredibly goofy. The poses that they chose are just so... No human, I think, has ever made most of those poses, or most of those expressions, really. And it was just... It wasn't hard to mimic them, but it caused me psychological pain. So like, really, who won this one? Not me. That's the answer, not me. For Kaede in particular, I struggled a lot with what hairstyle to give her. I wanted to incorporate braids in there somehow. I wanted to incorporate a pigtail. I wanted to incorporate pigtails somehow as a little bit of a reference to Hatsune Miku because I thought that it would be funny. And in the end, I just ended up going with a simple braided crown with a half up, half down sort of look that you can't really see too well from her splash art or the sprite that I will be sketching next to her in a little bit. I say a little bit. She doesn't get her sprite until after I think I've finished coloring. That's fine. We are professional artists here at the Kawore YouTube channel. All of you are professional artists now, too, by virtue of watching this. You're welcome. Enjoy the fight against AI. And enjoy the Animation Guild yaoi. I really wanted to work her piano theming into her design more though, because I feel like it's such a cute like pattern that you can incorporate in a lot of very cute subtle ways. You can see that her skirt has the pattern, the tops of her thigh-high socks have the pattern, and I've only just started coloring now, but as you can see, I made her skin a little bit more tan because I thought that the contrast with that and the blushy pink that I ended up going with for a lot of her coloration for her clothes would just look very, very cute together. I personally really like how it came out. I thought that it was very adorable. And I thought that it fit to sort of give her that look of someone who maybe spends a little bit more time outside, even though she also spends a lot of time practicing piano, because I think that it fits with her very Genki girl, not quite Genki girl, but like her very can-do attitude, you know, the way that she is one of the first to take action in a lot of senses. And for this rewrite, she is still the protagonist. She does still start off as our point of view character. And she is very much, you know, it's the same setup as the actual start of V3. She is confused, she wakes up in a locker, she's in a different uniform, and we, the audience, know about as much about what's going on as she does. And then, you know, the prologue plays out, she gets her magical girl transformation into this cute little piano-themed outfit, and she is going through chapter 1 exploring, and in a little while you will see she meets her companion for this chapter, one mysterious young man by the name of Shuichi Saihara. His expression. He does not want to be here, quite honestly. Why is he doing that with his arm? It's at this point that I feel I should mention the order that these speed paints are shown in the video is not the order in which I recorded them. If you guys have any guesses for what the order I recorded these speed paints in is, feel free to comment those. I don't know, it's not really that important, it's just funny to me that I recorded them out of order. Shuichi, though, I will give you a hint, he was one of the first designs that I had in mind, at least. And as you can see, I changed him up a little bit from his actual design. So I scrapped the idea of giving him a coat, and I changed him to an ultimate question mark. Because I feel like if he was truly smart enough to earn the title of an ultimate detective, then he would also be able to figure out that in a very suspicious situation, you don't want to put a target on your back. You don't want to tell everyone around you, hey, I'm really good at solving mysteries, and we've just been put in a game where if you kill someone, that'll be a mystery that we have to solve. So I feel like he would, being as anxious as he is, he would not tell people his ultimate title, at least outside of Kaede, who he chooses to spend some time with in this chapter. They are exploring around, and they are becoming friends, they're meeting some of the rest of the cast, and, you know, I feel like they would get along. You know, I made his hat cuter, sorry, I wanted to make him look a little bit more like Sherlock Holmesy, you know, a little bit more like what we would think of as a traditional detective, but I still wanted to keep, you know, some of the schoolboy vibe there. So I gave him a bag that, you know, what's it called? A crossbody bag. And I gave him his hat, as you can see, had to have the hat in chapter 1. I ended up changing Shuichi's colors quite a bit. You might have seen this with Kaede too. I tend to be very picky about the colors that I use in my designs, and so you will see me changing them a lot. I love adding filters, I love changing colors around, and I love seeing what I can do to make colors look good together, and make them look good next to each other. So I had a lot of fun figuring out Shuichi's design, his color palette, and I liked drawing his little sprite. It doesn't show up super great in the video, but I gave him a little single fang, and I gave him, I think I gave him a little single fang. You'll see on Twitter when I post it later. And I gave him a little mole right next to the side of his mouth because I thought that it would look cute. Now we move on to our third character of the video, Rantaro Amami. As you can see here, once again, complaining about the splash art, the poses are just ridiculous. And I do not like drawing objects, so Amami's was especially annoying for me, but I did like designing his outfit, so you win some, you lose some. Now, as Kaede and Shuichi are becoming friends, exploring the school, meeting the rest of the students, they meet someone who does not remember his ultimate. He's not someone who's hiding it on purpose like Shuichi. He just doesn't know. He knows that he has an ultimate, but he's not quite sure what it is. Maybe he'll figure it out at some point later. That is our mysterious second ultimate question mark, Rantaro Amami, who I love his second concept sketch. I'm sorry, we were robbed of the emo boy, and I did kind of make him look like Komeda. I'm gonna go ahead and say that that's on purpose, because I am a big proponent in this V3 rewrite of playing into the themes of reality TV and franchises running out of ideas, you know, jumping the shark, if you will. So I figured we would play into that a little bit with some of these designs. So, you know, I had the designs for Kaede and Shuichi both initially include a bag, and, you know, that was meant to be on purpose. It was meant to be like, oh, well, the costuming department is running out of unique things to give every character, so they both have bags, and then they realized, wait, shit, we can't give two of them bags. So that's a little bit of why Rantaro is styled the way he is, at least his hair is. It's meant to be a little bit of a callback to Komeda. You'll see once I start coloring, he has some white in his hair as well. And he's meant to sort of invoke that imagery of the mysterious, you know, wild hair, and he makes you ask a lot of questions. He's also, I did that on purpose with his eyes not having a shine to them and being a little bit unnerving. You know, he's meant to, when the viewer sees him, you're supposed to think, oh, so that's this season's Komeda. And Rantaro Amami, unfortunately, does not get the chance to reveal what his ultimate talent is to everyone. He doesn't get the chance to remember it. Because the motive is revealed. The killer will be able to get away scot-free. And if no one kills, then everyone will be killed. And of course, Kaede and Shuichi, they don't want that. They want the best for the group. But the best for the group means that two people have to die so that everyone else can survive. And, you know, no one wants that. No one likes that. And so one of them is left to make a tough decision. They set up a camera to try and find where the mastermind sneaks off in the library, and they keep watch. They sit and talk for hours as they do so. They don't want to get too distracted, but, you know, they have to do something to kill the time. And then, mere minutes before the motive would have run out of time, the cameras go off. There's a ding, and they realize that the mastermind has to have triggered the cameras in some way. They realize that their trap has gone off, and they rush to the library to check. And little does Shuichi know that in Kaede's bag, well, she had a shot put ball. And isn't that interesting? And so as the trial progresses, Shuichi comes to the realization that he cannot trust anyone. He told one person his talent, and she used that information for good. She knew that he, with his talent, would have been able to figure her out, and she knew that he would be able to get everyone out of this predicament with as few deaths as possible. But she was the only person that he trusted, and she killed someone. So, where are they left to go from here? And that, I think, is where I'm going to leave this video off. That is where this chapter of the game ends. So my next video probably will not be chapter 2. I'll be doing chapter 2 at some point, but let's explain some of the constraints that I'll be working within. I don't think that I'll be changing very drastically who the killers and victims are. For the most part, they'll stay the same, but in a certain case, chapter 3, certain things will be shifted around so that we can get a little more interesting with it. And we don't have to follow the Danganronpa formula. And I'd also like to preface this with, this is purposefully absurdist. You can say that it's bad writing. I will not disagree with you on that. I am purposefully making some of the choices in this be absurd and unreasonable and bad writing choices because the primary theme that I choose to take away from Danganronpa V3 is that idea of long-running series running out of ideas and jumping the shark over and over and over again, right? So a lot of the choices that I make here will be gimmicky, and they will be silly, and they will be overdone, and you'll be able to call them from a mile away. And that is the point. So, I hope you guys have some fun theorizing about what changes you think I might be making, and I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to, I don't know, hit the buttons, do the thing. You guys know the YouTube thing. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye-bye!